Colibacillosis of poultry. Colibacillosis is a secondary infection caused by inhalation, particularly in young broilers and poults. The severity of this septicaemic disease is due to a combination of factors as the virulence, exposure to aerogenic infection, the E.Coli strains involved, and the intensity of the predisposing alteration of the respiratory epithelium by viruses, Mycoplasmas, and/or CO2, NH3, and dust in the atmosphere. It is one of the most commonly occurring and economically devastating bacterial diseases of poultry worldwide. Signs vary and can include acute fatal septicemia, aerogenic, pericarditis, perihepatitis. Diagnosis is made by isolation of a pure culture of E.Coli. Most bacterial isolates are resistant to multiple antibiotics, so prevention of exposure through good management is recommended. Etiology: Escherichia coli is a gram-negative, rod-shaped bacterium normally found in the intestine of poultry. Other cases are due to infection with commensal E.Coli that gain access to birds. Weakened by some predisposing conditions such as Mycoplasmosis, infectious bronchitis, Newcastle disease, enteritis, poor air quality, or other environmental stresses. Signs and symptoms. Signs are non-specific and vary with age, organs involved. Young birds dying of acute septicemia have few lesions except for an enlarged hyperemic liver and spleen with increased fluid in body cavities. Birds that survive septicemia develop subacute fibrinoprolonged esaculatis, pericarditis, perihepatitis, and lymphocytic depletion of the bursa and thymus. Although esaculatis is a classic lesion of colibacillosis, it is unclear whether it results from primary respiratory exposure or from extension of serositis. Sporadic lesions include pneumonia, arthritis, osteomyelitis, peritonitis, and salpingitis. Diagnosis: isolation of E.Coli in pure culture. Unlike pathogenous coli associated with illnesses in other animal species, avian isolates are generally non-hemolytic on sheep 5 blood agar. Isolation of a pure culture of E.Coli from heart, blood, liver, or typical visceral lesions in a fresh carcass indicates primary or secondary colibacillosis.
Treatment of E.Coli.
Because of widespread resistance, antibiotics are not recommended. Prevention depends on good management to reduce exposure. In addition, experimental and commercial vaccines of various types have been used to prevent colibacillosis. Most isolates are resistant to tetracyclines, streptomycin, and sulfur drugs. Although therapeutic success can sometimes be achieved with tetracycline, fluoroquinolone use is now banned in many countries, including the USA.